Daily check-in. Check-in today from the car again, although I am at home. For some reason, I'm still in the car. I feel like a lot of work gets done in my car at the moment. Um, yeah, daily check-in. I had a shit night last night. Which started with going to hockey. So my eldest does hockey. And got to hockey and I'm the team manager. I've volunteered to be the team manager again this year. And last year it was fine because the lady who was supporting me to do it was doing half the job. I was kind of doing the day to day, the on the day stuff, which granted was a lot because we had issues with our coach at times, and I had to step in and be the coach and like lovely, exciting things. But she used to do the like put in the scoring and things in the system that is difficult, and like do the team sheet and organize who was meant to be where, and then I'd just copy what she'd done and put it in the WhatsApp. And I'd take some photos and things. And so she did half of it. This year, I've only said yes to being the team manager because she asked me, and because no one else wanted to do it. And so here I am being the team manager again. And then she quits because they're not being very nice to her, which is a massive shame. And of course, as what happens with any kind of workplace, when a subject matter expert, now this is someone who was managing all the under 16 teams, all the under 14 teams, and all the under 12 teams, when someone kind of goes, well, if you can do it better, you try. If you're going to treat me like Shizen, I am out of here. You try and do a better job. People can't because they've not been in it for for 3 years. They don't have the relationships with the kids and the like. They don't know where shit is at. They come in and go, oh my God, they've been doing such a terrible job, because they don't know anything about what's been going on. They know nothing about it. And so now here I am having to do a lot of other things, all of the things, and having been to a training session on it the other night and becoming even more confused as to what it's all about, and thinking that there wasn't anything I needed to do until the weekend, which when the game starts. But then I got to training last night, and it was like people talking about who's playing, and yeah, that's my front garden. Who's playing and who's not, and all this stuff, and me going, fudge, I haven't even looked at my team sheet. I opened a WhatsApp. I don't even know if all the people are in it yet. Like, I've sent out the link. I don't know if all the parents are in it to begin posting. Fudge. And then the lady who's kind of taken over from the other lady, she was, I don't know, she's not as reliable and doesn't have her together as much as the other lady, and it's all coming in. And so I was like, I thought that I sort of somewhat had myself together with this team managing thing, and maybe I don't. So now this morning, I need to put a lot of work into sorting it all out. Sorting it all out. So that was a bit shit. My son, on the way there, because he likes to ride his bike and it's not too far away, had an accident. Luckily, I was also driving there, and so was able to kind of help him when I got there. Excuse me. But he was so upset, and someone else abused him on the way there, and he was so upset and when he got there. And so there was that, and there was all the faffing around with people who have no idea what they're doing, and the other lady kind of stepping in and going, "It's okay, I'll sort you out. This is what you need to do. If you need help, I will help you, because it's somewhat my fault that you're the team manager. And I feel somewhat bad that I've now stepped away, even though I had to do it for myself." I get it. I get it. And so last night, my littlest woke up at 1 o'clock because he was scared, and I was like, "Oh, just go back to sleep, please," which he did. But then all I could think about was all this hockey stuff, and it was just going around and around my head. And then at 3 o'clock, and so it took a while to get to sleep. And then at 3 o'clock, my eldest woke up. He'd had a nightmare, which doesn't happen that often, thank goodness. But whenever he has a nightmare, he gets headaches. I don't know why. The why doesn't matter, but it always, if he gets woken up in the night by something like a really loud car or a motorbike or something along those lines, or he wakes up and he can't go back to sleep, it always ends in a headache, which sometimes continues on into a migraine, which is difficult. Yeah. And so, yeah, woke up with him at 3 o'clock. I went back to bed, or maybe it was closer to, I don't know, maybe it was 2:45. Took him through a sort of process on taking the dream, putting it into a bin, gaffer taping it. Like that was the I don't know, not a meditation, but the process, psychological process to try and get rid of the dream. But the dream was about him being dragged away from his family. The nightmare was him being dragged away from his family. And so he was very upset, and he couldn't just put it into the bin and let it go. And so started to get the headache. And so I had to get up and give him some Nurofen. And then he was still awake a while later, and needed to get his like ice hat thing for him to go back to sleep. Luckily, it didn't turn into a migraine, and he's somewhat okay and wanted to go to school today. I would have been happy to keep him at home if he'd decided that's what was best for him. But then when I got back to bed, my husband, who I think had been awake for the start of the night, he was just going to sleep, and then so he started snoring, and it was like, I just need to go to sleep. And then so I was awake thinking about hockey stuff as well as my husband snoring, and it was, and so yeah, when he got up this morning, I was like, I even hardly did my daily spiel. Yeah, there was sort of codes and stuff, like coded images and things that were kind of going through that I could see in my mind and things, but I was just like, I have to wash my hair, I have to get up, and then was talking to a friend of mine about some interesting things that I felt to share, because and the stuff that I've shared before, but social media, sometimes for whatever reason people only see this video and will not see any of the videos that I've done previously. The 51 videos I've done in like a month. I think it's about that. Upon which I'm pretty proud of myself, FYI. Pretty proud of myself. And my friend was talking about how she's just kind of started a new business, a new yoga business, and is someone who has been kind of exploring her different names of for her account, and has kind of settled on something and decided to close down her old account, which I've heard so many times from the people that I've been hanging around with, as in the people that I've been, yeah, with at the time. And yeah, so she's decided to close down her old account and just post. Sorry, my arm's itchy. The one that's holding the phone. Just post, proper content on her business one. And get rid of the old one because it's got content like of her children and heartfelt content on there. And within the spiritual community, that's what we do, right? In the spiritual community, we very much like to release all that no longer serves us. We release everything that we should not be taking with us to the next. And I find that so interesting because, as I've said previously, I've been through a meditation with a friend where that opened my eye. I mean, the point of the meditation was to release. And yet, when I got into the meditation, I was taken through a process myself, external to what she was saying at the same time, whereby all of the things that we were, was walking down into this cellar, and into this big library of our experiences, all the things that we've learned, all the things, this big library of books. And what we needed to do was condense all the things that we needed to take with us into a code. And then once we got back up the steps, to light a match and burn the rest of the stuff that we know that no longer served us, that we no longer needed, that we couldn't take, that we didn't need to take for, didn't need to take with us as we progressed along. And for me, I was shocked when all of the books in the whole place condensed into one code. And there was nothing actually left for me to release. There's nothing. Because it was all like amalgamated into this one code. My fingers have gone a bit. They're a little bit sore today. This one isn't bending very well. That's my physical update. My bra is all right at the moment, although I've had to readjust a few times because the elastic has just, on the bottom of it, has gone, and so it's not, it's all right at the moment, but as the day progresses it will not, and it will annoy the living truck out of me. But anyway, and my lips feel worse today, even though I was drinking water yesterday. And I have put stuff on this morning, but they just are feeling uncomfortable. And so I was like, that really opened my eyes. And then as I progressed through my process and realizing that all of our experience is important. All of our experience is important. All of our experience in this life, in this current life, in our previous lives, in our energetic life, in our ancestral life, or in our whole ancestry, all of those things are important. All of those things make up, if we're like welcoming them in if we're accepting of those things, if we're just sitting in the discomfort of those things when they arise through our feelings, all of that creates a stable base for us to jump off from to create unparalleled change. Oh, is that my neighbour bringing my bin? I hope not, because he's going to see me sitting in the car. And it is. Ah, crudge. Just put it there, Arthur. I hope he doesn't come to see me, because then you'll see him. Is he gone? I think so. I know, it's weird. I'm just sitting in my car at home. It's weird. Oh, he's doing the next bin too. Oh, thanks, Arthur. Oh, God, I hope he doesn't come and... Just put it there, Arthur. She'll be right. No, he doesn't realise I'm in the car. Lovely old man. He's 96. Anyway. It all creates a stable base. And so because we're so busy trying to release all this stuff because it's not worthy, because it's less than, because it's a part of ourselves we don't like. So because it feels that uncomfortable, we just want to get rid of it. And yet we need it. It's a part of us. It's a part of us. And if we're not accepting of it, we're just kind of stuck. If we're too busy trying to love and light it, we're going to continue to do the same thing over and over. Does that make sense? So it's like, as I was saying yesterday, it's we're in the lesson of shame and density. So therefore, we're trying to do the exam of shame relating to shame and density. The problem is we're trying to use love and light for the shame and density exam. We're trying to positive our shame and our density and our lack of ability to create full-bodied, unparalleled change. We're trying to love and light it to make ourselves feel better. And it doesn't work. Because you like, the exam is not on that. We've had that exam. It was an easy exam. It was about love and light. Everyone passed that in a flying colours because it was easy, because the love and light is easy. Shame and density is hard. Shame and density is hard. That's why no one wants to look at it. That's why everyone wants to release it. Because it is hard. It feels shit. Shame and density feels shit. And so we're going through this constant process of trying to release all the shame and all the density, really, so that we can create this change, and wondering why we're still here doing it. Well, maybe we'll try again next month when the moon's right. Well, when the planets have aligned to the best astronomical position, we'll try again. I'm telling you, my friends, it ain't gonna work. You actually have to accept and welcome the shame and the density stuff and prove to source by sitting in your feelings of shame and density, by doing that, that's how you prove to source that you get it, that you understand the current human experience, that you get it. And then you can move to the next, where change is easy, where creation is easy and a moment by moment proposition. I'm creating change and manifesting and teleporting and moving shit with my thoughts and like whatever. All of that stuff, all that cool shit that us spiritual people look at and go, Pudge, I would so love to do that. I would so love to do more of that. Or only the special people do. That will be all of us. That is all of us. That will be all of us. It will not be just some cool thing. It will be all of us. It will be all of us doing cool shit, creating change in every single moment. To do that, we need to accept shame and density. So I said all this to my friend. And whether she takes it on, that's her choice. I'm offering a choice, right? An alternative idea. And I was like, hi, if you're watching this, by the way. You know, by keeping the posts on there that are strange and confusing and different, and that gives people an idea of who you are. That gives them a sense of who you are, instead of all this business talk. And on that, as a side note, no, as the natural progression, this is funny when you realize what the natural progression is in relation to flow, right? And I might do a smaller video on it because it feels important. But flow. Sorry, I'm just gathering my thoughts. I feel like I've felt a level of frustration because I haven't been able to, I guess, come up with a logo, like a static logo or a static product or a static idea of what I'm here to do. And, you know, listening to my friend talk about all the business, oh, it's kind of a bit dark. All the business, where am I going to put you? All the business stuff, and talk in real sort of business sort of terms, and you know, having the solid name for the company or for the business, and the website for it, and creating digital what are they called? You know, documents and things for people to purchase, and having photos done, and they're all, from what I am seeing, are ideas that relate to this is how business is currently done. And nothing wrong with that whatsoever. Nothing wrong with that. But it was interesting listening to her because I realized that why I haven't settled on a name or a product or a blah 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 is because it's all about flow for me. It's all about flow. And so the fluidity of not having a specific name, of not having a specific target market, I know, not having a specific website that is static to a point, that not having a specific product that, I sell codes that support people to blah, blah, blah. I've no idea what I do. There are so many different things, mentoring. And I was thinking about that yesterday, doing more mentoring. Who would I mentor? I'm not sure. Anyone, really? Yes, creating artworks, and especially the digital artworks that I've been creating recently. I'd love to sell those. But I'd love to do what I've been talking about in relation to intuitive art and teaching people, just intuitive art, as well as art clubs. So having artists come and talk within each other, like to each other, about life and creation and their art journeys and all this interesting stuff. I'd love to teach people the principles of intuitive art because they relate so beautifully to everyday living, and they support how we can be for the next human evolution. And so there's so many, and that's like a small portion of it. There's like the healing stuff. There's so many different parts to it, and I forget all the various parts. I'm just kind of in one part at the moment, and in each moment. It's like I'm just kind of focusing on that one section and progressing in that one section, and then it'll move to a different section, and then I'll evolve within that section, and then I'll move to another section, and then I'll evolve in that section, and so it's this kind of patchwork of stuff. And I don't feel like it's a static thing. It's a constantly evolving, constantly flowing, constantly, if I put myself out there I've got maybe five different Instagram accounts, and I sort of post on 1, 2, 3 of them more than others. The other two, I'm not really sure why I've got them, but they're there. They're there for a purpose. I felt to, create them. It feels, for me, what I'm trying to get at, it feels to me, my business and the businesses that going forward will be a flowy thing. It will be constant change, constant evolving, constant aligning, like realignment with where I find myself today, where I find myself in this moment. I guess it's the only kind of thing that I can visually think to say about, like, talk about it in relation to. Instead of having like a little static picture, it'll be a video that's like constantly evolving. And maybe that's like AI supported. Who am I today? Well, I'm having a little bit of a chat to Chatty, and Chatty changes that, or not changes, but adds the energy that I am today within a video, like a flowy video-y thing that's within our, I don't know, social media. I don't know, but like that's just the thing that came to me. It's like the way forward is flow, because change is about flow, like the solid change. Interesting. The change that we're coming to, that we're evolving to, relates to flow. It's all around flow. We're not static. And I think I was saying this in a video that I'm not sure I posted, about Jojo Siwa and her exploring, not physically exploring, but somewhat exploring who she is in sexually, in terms of her sexual orientation, in a Big Brother household, in front of the world, and the repercussions of engaging in that flow, and how difficult that would be to be exploring that in front of the world. But that's like the way forward is through flow. It's not via staticness. It's not via just going, I am a lesbian and that's it. It's like there are no words within it, because it's like, in this moment, I might feel that I'm attracted to whatever his name is, the guy that was in the house with her. I don't even know his name. In another moment, I might be attracted to someone else, and that's okay. I might be attracted to a lady. I might be attracted to a them. I might be attracted to something else in between there. And that's okay. I feel like marriage, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what marriage will happen with marriage. I don't know what will happen with even like having children. I feel like a lot of people these days are just having kids because that's what we do. That's what tradition states that we do. And not engaging with them because it's not really something they ever really wanted, but it felt that this is what you do in society. You get married and you have kids, and now these kids are growing up with parents that are not really that interested, or not that engaged, because that's what you do. Anywho, that's a very side note. So yeah, I think moral of that sort of long-winded business stuff, it feels like business for me has always been quite flowy. And where am I at with my business? Good question. Good question. Am I earning any money in my business? No. Have I previously? I have. I have through some mentoring, and I have through doing some videos for people, soul birth videos. They were quite popular. But I haven't for a long time. I haven't earned a single penny for a long time in my business. As in, when I say a long time, probably a good 2 years. Probably. Maybe longer. Nothing. Nothing. Nothing at all. So, yeah. And if you're wondering why that is, check in for yesterday. Have a look at video from yesterday. Because I won't, after half an hour, I won't go into it. Won't go into it today because I went into it yesterday. So yeah, how's flowy business going for you? Well, clearly not that well if I haven't earned any money for a long time. Fair enough. So everyone get on flowy business because it works really well for you. Yeah. Sometimes I kind of, and yesterday I was kind of thinking about this a little bit, like, you know, these sorts of things people are just not ready for yet. You know, I was having a conversation with the kids yesterday about governments. Just a, light-hearted on the drive to school. Talking about governments and how they manage things, because we've got voting here at the moment. And and about the way in which governments go about promoting themselves and putting down their opposition, and the millions of dollars that they spend on that. Millions upon billions of dollars that they spend on just that, promoting themselves and saying how shit all the opposition is. And I was saying to the kids, like, it'd be great if governments could do things in a different way. If they put those millions of dollars to actual good, proper use, like some other way. But then how would they win? Because this is our current energetics, our current ways that communities work, is people seeing the slanderous commentary created by, these people, and that convinces them that that person is bad and that they shouldn't vote for them. So it's like, if I'm not engaging in those practices, I'm not going to get anywhere, because the current climate hasn't changed yet. But it sucks. And it's the same with so many different things. Hospitals, police, education, pharmaceuticals. Like, it's the same, science, really. Spiritual communities. All of the conventional structures of religion, all of the conventional structures that have been around, and I'm saying even the spiritual community, all of those conventional structures that have been around for such a long time are not working anymore. But we're not in the climate of creating, like, we don't have the ability to create the change at the moment. And there's not many people like me doing this, pioneering this stuff. And I do feel like I will kind of tap into various areas and kind of support people, it won't be as static as this, but it will just flow, that people within various structures will come and work with me to then take back the new change, to, I guess, inject that new change within the structures, so that the change will happen, so that the change will come about, and it will just flow. It will be easy. Some things won't be easy. Pharmaceuticals will not be happy with me. I've known that for a while. Pharmaceuticals will not be happy with me. Big Pharma will not be happy with me, because they will be no longer required. And all those fat cats getting truckloads of money will not be getting truckloads of money anymore. So Big Pharma will be very upset with me. And all those kind of fat cats, yeah. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. At the moment, I'm not earning any money in my business. I'm not creating. Oh no, I am sort of creating some change within the deaf facility at school. That's about it. But that's enough at the moment. I would like to be earning some money and be impacting at least, someone else outside of that life. That would be great. Anywho, we'll see.